Well, guys, we have officially made it to the 100-day mark in this new Trump administration, and the verdict is in. The American people do not like what they see. Donald Trump has lost his first 100 days in office. And there are just so many things that he is trying to do that the American people are not on board with, that he is severely underwater on nearly every single issue that was recently polled. There are just so many things to talk about, right? He's rounding up people without any due process. He's arresting judges. He's stripping away medical research funding. He's going after news agencies and law firms. I mean, it has been an absolute disaster in this first 100 days, and we'll definitely take a look at some of his most consequential actions in another video. But what I want to focus on today is how the American people are feeling about these first 100 days. They take a look around and realize that Donald Trump, he's not keeping any of the promises that he made to the American people. Isn't that right? I mean, just check out a number of different promises Trump made before he was even elected. And if you guys do appreciate my work, please do remember to subscribe.
I will immediately bring prices down starting on day one. I'll get the war with Ukraine and Russia ended. If I'm president-elect, I'll get it done before even becoming president. But if I win, we will rapidly defeat inflation. Look at what's going on in the Middle East. This would have never happened. I will get that settled and fast. Starting the day I take the oath of office, I will rapidly drive prices down and we will make America affordable again.
He's going to make America affordable again, baby. He's going to bring down those gas prices, those egg prices, the housing prices. He's going to make sure that the American people were taken care of and they had a little bit more buying power, right? That was the big promise that Donald Trump made. And instead, he came into office and implemented this insane tariff regime, and now prices are going up all over the country for the American people. The war in Ukraine is not solved. He said he would get that done before he even came into office, and then it moved to, I'll get it done on day one. Then it was his first 100 days, and it's still not done. I mean, nearly every single promise that Donald Trump could tout as something that he was going to get done for the American people, I don't think he's got any of those things done in his first 100 days. And then when he was elected, what did we keep on hearing from Donald Trump? He had a huge mandate, right? That he was going to come into office and he had this mandate given to him by the American people. And therefore he had, wide authority to do whatever he thought was best for the American people. Do you guys remember? How many times did we hear that this was the biggest mandate of all time?
America has given us an unprecedented and powerful mandate.
They're just upset, they're desperate, they're humiliated, they're embarrassed. But Donald Trump has a mandate.
The president-elect clearly buoyed by his victory, telling me in our conversation today that he believes he has a, quote, mandate.
Donald Trump has a mandate. He has the greatest presidential mandate probably since Reagan in 1984.
The presidential election of November 5th was a mandate like has not been seen in many decades.
Just another absurd claim from this Trump administration. Let's just remember, guys, Donald Trump only won with a plurality, which means more people voted against Donald Trump in the 2024 election than they did for him. But that did not stop all of these people coming out and saying that Donald Trump had a huge mandate. The American people were on board with all of these different things that he wanted to do. And then he came in office and he squandered it. When we look back at polling from his very first day in office, you could see that the American people were willing to give him a chance. They said, okay, we got the new guy. He's going to come in. Hopefully he's going to make our lives a little bit better. But that's not what Donald Trump did. So let's go ahead and dig into some of the polling that we are now seeing. And I want to first start off with this Economist YouGov poll that has Trump underwater on, I think, every single issue. But let's go ahead and start here. And then I want to show you what even Fox News polling is saying.
Do you approve of Trump's handling of jobs and the economy? No, by a 12-point margin. Do you approve of Trump's handling of trade? No, 16-point margin. Do you approve of his handling of inflation? No. Do you approve of his handling of immigration? No. Do you approve of Trump's handling of foreign policy? No. National security? No. Education? No. Crime? How about crime? No, not crime either. Do you believe Donald Trump should bring Kilmer Abrego Garcia back to the United States? Yes. Yes, Americans say Trump should bring Mr. Abrego Garcia back to the U.S., and they say so emphatically by a 22-point margin. Quote, since President Trump took office again this year, have his actions on the economy helped or hurt the United States? Hurt by a 33-point margin. Do you think Donald Trump has the temperament to be the president? No, by a 10-point margin. Are you confident in Donald Trump's ability to deal wisely with an international crisis? No, 13-point margin. Are you satisfied with what Trump has accomplished in his first 100 days as president? No, 15-point margin. Trump has been president for about 100 days. Has he performed better or worse than you expected when he became president? Worse by a 17-point margin. Since President Trump took office, has his behavior in the has his behavior in the White House helped or hurt the United States? Not just the economy, but has he hurt the nation? Hurt. Has he helped or hurt? He has hurt the nation, Americans say, by a 24-point margin.
Oof. That is not good. On every single major issue, Donald Trump is underwater, even on the economy. And this is something that Republicans have traditionally enjoyed a very healthy margin on, right? People inherently trust Republicans on the economy over Democrats. I mean, the data show that that's not how things actually go, but Donald Trump used to be ahead on the economy. People thought that he was going to come in, lower all the prices. He was going to give you some more buying power and all that good stuff. And he just squandered it. Instead, he came in, like I said, with this insane tariff regime. And he started implementing tariffs so erratically, on again, off again, on again, off again, pause. 145% for China. I mean, it has been a disaster. And it's not just The Economist and the YouGov poll that are showing these types of numbers. Even on Fox News, which is traditionally a pretty good pollster, even they have him underwater as well. And we'll get to Donald Trump's reaction a little bit later, but check out Fox News polls here.
Donald Trump is doing as president? No, by an 11-point margin. In the long run, do you think Donald Trump's policies will help the country? No, by an 11-point margin. So, not positive on the big picture for President Trump. Well, what about the other president? Do you approve of the job Elon Musk is doing, working with DOGE, the Department of Government Efficiency? Fox News poll respondents say no, resoundingly, by a 17-point margin. Do you approve of the way Donald Trump is handling the economy? No, by an 18-point margin. 18 points on the economy. Do you think Donald Trump's policies are helping the U.S. economy? No, by a 22-point margin. Do you think imposing tariffs on products imported from other countries helps the U.S. economy? No, by a 23-point margin. Do you approve of the way Trump is handling tariffs? No, 25-point margin. Do you approve of the way Trump is handling inflation? No, 26-point margin. Oh, and here's a really good one. This is, again, the Fox News poll. If President Trump thinks the Supreme Court is overstepping its constitutional authority, can he ignore the court? No, by a 49-point margin.
A 49-point margin. The American people have spoken and said Donald Trump should obey the Constitution, should obey the Supreme Court. They do not like this lawless behavior that we are currently seeing out of this administration. And even in Fox News polling, on every single issue that we just looked at, Donald Trump is underwater by heavy, heavy margins. He came into office and did these tariffs, except he didn't have a real plan as to how to institute those tariffs, right? Like we've talked about many times before, tariffs can be used in strategic ways. If we want to bolster an industry here, say the chips manufacturing for our highly technical computer chips, you do it something like what Biden did. You tariff the external imports, right? And then you subsidize or incentivize companies to bring that manufacturing back home. But when you do it across the entire economy, when you put 145% tariffs on our largest trading partner, that is going to spell disaster. And now you've got prices all over the country that are starting to go up. And now you've got small businesses that are having to shut down because they can't afford to ship their products over to the United States. It is an absolute shit show. Donald Trump squandered all of the goodwill that he had. You know, if he just came into office and focused maybe on his tax cuts that he wants to extend, maybe he put the tariffs on the back burner for a little bit, maybe he would have been a little bit better off on this 100-day mark. But instead, he came in and he's trying to piss everybody off all at once. And, you know, the American people just do not like what they see. And I want to go ahead and show you this next set of polling because this is more specific questions, I guess you could say. These are some of the things that Donald Trump has done in his first 100 days here. And just listen to how the American people responded to these very specific things.
Of Trump freezing foreign aid? No, by an even larger 26-point margin. Do you approve of Trump's handling of tariffs? No, 30-point margin. Do you approve of his shutting down the Department of Education? No, 33-point margin. Jeez. Do you approve of him trying to end birthright citizenship, which is the part of the Constitution that says if you're born here, you're an American? Do you approve of Trump trying to end that? No. No, Americans do not approve of him trying to end that by a huge margin, by a 36-point margin. Do you approve of Donald Trump increasing the federal government's role in how private universities operate? That's a nice way to put it, right? Even phrased that gently and euphemistically, guess what the answer is? The answer is no. Americans do not like what he is doing to universities by a 42-point margin. How about this one? Are you in favor of Donald Trump's cuts to federal funding for medical research? No, we are not. By a 56-point margin, Americans do not like that Donald Trump is cutting medical research.
Yeah, and that should make sense, right? Why would Donald Trump even try to strip away medical research funding? It seems like an asinine thing to do. And now we have scientists actually leaving the country and going to study abroad because Donald Trump has made it such a hostile environment right here in the United States of America. Donald Trump tries to sit around his Oval Office and, you know, sign these stacks of executive orders, tries to play a king on TV. And then you turn and look at this polling, and it's quite clear that the American people do not like what he is doing. I mean, what was one of his first actions? He tried to end birthright citizenship with an executive order. That is insane. What was he thinking? You know, it just comes back to the whole Donald Trump does want to be a king. He said he was going to be dictator on day one. And this first 100 days has really kind of shown that that is exactly what he is trying to do. Donald Trump has signed over 130 executive orders, and he has only passed 5 or less bills through Congress, historically low. So you can see Donald Trump is trying to rule by decree, even though that's not how our system is actually supposed to work. And just to put it into perspective, guys, Joe Biden signed 162 executive orders through his entire 4-year term. Donald Trump, I think, is up to close to 140 in his first 100 days. It's insane. I just don't know what else to say. He came in and he's like a bull in a china shop. He's trying to piss everybody off all at once. He's picking fights with everybody all at once. And it is not going well for him. And the American people are rightly pissed off about all of these different things that Donald Trump is doing. And of course, Donald Trump he's really not good at handling these bad polling numbers. Just listen to how he is responding to this very bad week of polling.
He posted that the press, quote, cheats big on polls. Really? All of them? He's ranting now. He's calling the polls fake. He says they're fake polls. And he says he wants pollsters investigated for election fraud. What election? He says pollsters are, quote, sick. He calls pollsters, quote, negative criminals.
What does that even mean? What is a negative criminal? Is there a positive criminal? Maybe he's referring to himself when he's talking about a positive criminal, right? You know, Donald Trump did get convicted of 34 different felonies. He was charged with what? 92 different crimes or whatever. And then we elected this idiot back into office. But what he is saying here is absolutely insane. He's saying, yeah, we should go after these pollsters. I don't like what I see. I don't like the pushback. I think they're trying to trick the American people. They're fake. We need to investigate them. And he's even going after Fox News, of all people, who paid a nearly $1 billion settlement to cover his ass. Donald Trump is unwell. He is an insane person, and he should not be the president of the United States. He is diminished in his old age. He seems to have no idea as to what is going on when he does sit around the desk and sign all of these executive orders. It seems like maybe the people who worked on Project 2025 are just drafting these things up and handing them over to him, and then he just signs away, acting like an idiot the entire way, right? I mean, this first 100 days is probably going to go down in presidential history as the worst 100 days out of any president ever. I wouldn't be surprised if, in the history of the country, even 100 years from now, this will be the worst 100 days of a president. It is an absolute disaster. Donald Trump tried to come into office and try to rule like a king, and the American people are just not down with what they are seeing. So I will leave it there for now, guys. If you guys got anything out of this video, please do remember to smash that like button and subscribe. Maybe share with a friend or two. I'd very much appreciate that. We are trying to build something here on the left that adequately pushes back against the right-wing media ecosystem that just shovels shit for Donald Trump every single day. So if you do like what I do here, please do remember to hit that subscribe button. And if you guys want to see how MAGA voters are actually now calling in to their favorite right-wing talk radio host to complain about this administration, go ahead and watch that video on the screen now. Otherwise, I'll see you guys on the next one.